Today we're discussing Anne Lowe, the first recognized Black fashion designer in America. She's probably most known for designing Jackie O's wedding dress, even though Jackie O herself never credited her. Anne Lowe was one of the biggest fashion designers from the 20s to the 60s. She was born in Clayton, Alabama in 1898. Her parents were Jane and Jack Lowe. Her great-grandmother was enslaved, and her great-grandfather was the owner of the enslaved. She also had a sister named Sally. She learned to sew at the age of 5 because her mother and her grandmother were very talented sewers. Her mother and grandmother had a dressmaking business that often serviced high society white people in Alabama. By the age of 10, Anne was already making her own dress patterns. When Anne turned 16, her mother passed away very suddenly. At the time of her death, her mother was designing 4 New Year's Eve dresses, and one was for the First Lady of Alabama. Anne finished all of her mother's designs and quickly cemented herself as a very talented dressmaker, and then she took over her mother's business. Anne then married a man named Lee Cohen, and they had one child together named Arthur. Arthur later became her business partner. In 1917, Anne moved Arthur down to Tampa, where she quickly started working for very wealthy people making dresses. She saved up $20,000 so that she could move her and her son back to New York City by 1928 to continue her career. In 1928, $20,000 is about $350K, and she was a single mom at the time. In New York, she started design school at St. Taylor Design School. However, because of her skin color, she had to learn in classes alone, which was wild because she was one of the most skilled students and her work was often used as an example to other students. She graduated school early because of her advanced ability. In 1946, she designed the dress Olivia de Havilland wore to accept her Oscar for Best Actress. You can see Anne's signature flower patterns. She learned the flower patterns when she was really young because she would copy flowers out of her garden when she was a child. Although this dress has been credited by being made by a woman named Sonia Rosenberg, because a lot of times Anne was not credited for her work. In 1953, she was hired to do all of Jackie O and her bridesmaids' dresses. 10 days before the wedding, her studio flooded and she had to cover all the costs herself and fix the dress. She did it and never told the family. In 1966, Ebony magazine called her the Dean of American Designers. Over the years, she designed for the Rockefellers, the Roosevelts, and the DuPonts, but she was rarely credited. In 1968, she opened her own store on Madison Avenue called Anne Lowe Originals, and then she retired by 1972. She was 82 when she passed away in Queens, February 5, 1981.